Everyone, if I could have your attention, please. If we could come on in and kind of get seated so we can start on time. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Thank you all for coming. We want to welcome you to the TCAT Henry Carroll Replacement Campus Groundbreaking Ceremony. We're very honored and delighted to have you all come and attend this celebration today. My name is Lori Goodjohn, and I'm the Vice President of Finance and Academics at the Paris location. I have been with this institution for 25 years, and this is a very exciting time for me. I'm very excited about this new building. The advent of this new campus is a milestone not only for this college, but for Henry County, Carroll County, and the surrounding counties. Our institution has worked very hard to become a vital part of workforce training and development in Northwest Tennessee. The building of this new 96,000 square foot technologically advanced campus is going to help solidify that mission and offer new possibilities for our community. With approximately 11 administrative offices, 20 faculty offices, 15 classrooms, 6 shops, 3 labs, which will include a fully functional cosmetology salon and a nursing lab, some student communal spaces, and 2 large community event spaces. This new campus will allow the faculty and staff of this institution to meet education, workforce, and civic needs of this community. This new building will allow TCAT Henry Carroll to expand its training abilities and be a cornerstone of success for the community. Just as an example of the training that students at TCATs receive, this podium that I'm standing behind was a collaborative, hands-on effort, a training project from our residential building maintenance program. They still have some work to do on it. They're going to learn how to use epoxy in the emblem up here to smooth it out in the grooves in the emblem. But the third term carpentry students cut this out and built it. The first term students used the CNC to add the emblem. And yes, I said first term students. A second term student and a dual enrollment student painted the emblem. And then our collision repair students came in and painted the podium in TCAT red. These students have learned a lot of skills that can be useful in our local community in just a short time. So if they can do this now, imagine how much more they can do with additional space, a better layout of their classroom and shop, and top-notch equipment. Over the next few minutes, you will hear from many of our legislative and community leaders regarding the impact that this project may have. Our hope is that you will begin to see the influence the project will have on our community, our industries, and our citizens. We want to extend great appreciation to these leaders, as well as our leadership at TBR, whose collaborative efforts have brought this project to fruition. Without their support and without the support of all of you, we cannot hope to have the substantial economic and social impact that we are all envisioning. So thank you for your attendance here today, and we look forward to seeing you all again at the opening of this great new campus. With that being said, we're going to get started with our presenters for today, and we're going to start with someone who can directly speak to how the TCAT has affected his life. This will be Tanner Ashlock. Tanner is a residential building maintenance student, and he is our local SGA vice president. Additionally, at the recent State Skills USA Institute, Tanner successfully ran and was elected as a state officer. He will serve as the Tennessee Skills USA Post-Secondary State Officer Treasurer. So Tanner, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tanner Ashlock, and I'm in the Residential Building Maintenance Program, and I am a student here. And I would like to thank Mr. John Penn for allowing me to speak on the behalf of us students here at TCAT, so y'all really know all that it's done for us in our lives. The motto here at TCAT is, "We build careers," and that is such a big statement in just 3 little words. TCAT has taught me the soft and hard skills I need to go into my career and field. It's not all about working with your hands and thinking. It's about networking and talking to people. If you can't do that, your whole industry is going to crumble. And speaking of which, we have a skills gap. There are too many jobs in America that are not being filled and not enough people going into it. So with this building, we have an impact on our community. But with the new facility, we will broaden our capacity to reach further, higher, and be stronger in our chosen fields. So thank y'all for y'all's continuing support, and I'm so glad y'all came out today and help us to strive to make better lives for us students and us careers. And for all that accept the challenge to go into the trades and community service, I thank y'all. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Kyle Spurgeon. I am the 8th Congressional District Representative to the Tennessee Board of Regents, but more importantly, I'm a 1982 graduate of Henry County High School right across the street. And so, yeah. These are, being on the Board of Regents, I get to participate in several events like this, but this one is especially nice to be up here today. And John Penn, thank you for the invitation. But having this being the 3rd one in 2 days, what I don't appreciate is having to follow Tanner, because the students always give the best speeches. So very well done. Appreciate that. My job up here today is to introduce Dr. Flora Tidings, and I'm not going to go through her bio because it is lengthy and we have a lot of speakers today. I will just tell you that be very excited that she leads the Tennessee Board of Regents. We have accomplished a lot. We're going to accomplish even more. But take 2 seconds and look at this building. I live in Jackson, work all over West Tennessee. This is going to be one of the nicest buildings in West Tennessee. This is absolutely a showplace right here. And from the Board of Regents, the members, I'd like to say thank you to Senator John Stevens and to Tandy Darby, who represents this area here. Because without their approval of the $1.5 billion that Governor Lee put in place for the buildings in the community, the TCATs and the community colleges across this state that are being constructed and being improved, this would not be happening today. So thanks to both of you. And with that, Dr. Tidings.
Well, good afternoon, and I do want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. This is a momentous occasion. It is a historic occasion. We are going to be breaking ground on a building that is going to change lives for generations to come. We've been changing lives at this facility for a long time, and this facility has served us well. But it's time to turn it back over to the school system so they can do what they need to do with it. And it's time for us to have a building that is reflective of our students, our faculty and our staff to do the job that they need to do for now and into the future. These buildings are all being designed to be flexible. They're being designed not to say in 20 years, well, when they built that building, they did this, and now we can't adjust it to that, because we know that careers are changing. We know that we've got to build a building that can adapt, that can be flexible, and can change with whatever careers are going to come down the pike for students to be trained in. And that's what's happening with our facilities. We have the best of the best in facilities across the state of Tennessee, and I'll actually across the country, and I'll say that to anybody. We are so fortunate that about 2 years ago, our governor did say, I want to do something for the technical and community colleges. He said, I know that you need help with your facilities. Bring me your master plan. We had a master plan. We had a master plan that was ready to go thanks to our executive director, Dick Tracy. It had every single project in it that we needed to put forward to make our system the very best that it could possibly be. In the past, we might have gotten a building in a year. We might have gotten 2, but not very often did we get more than that. So when they asked for the entire master plan, my first thought was, oh, great, maybe we'll get 3. Maybe we'll get 4. To my delight, I got a call right in December saying that the governor was going to fund our entire master plan, 29 projects. That is unheard of. And then in January, our legislators voted and approved the entire master plan for the state of Tennessee. Now, when I am in other states and I talk about what's happening in Tennessee, and I tell them that we've had $1.5 billion put into our budget to make our facilities, they start looking at me like maybe I'm not telling the truth, even though I am. And then their very next question is, how is your state doing that? And I said, it's because it is the best managed state in the country, and we are not doing that with bond money. We are doing that with cash money, which means that each and every one of you helped support that through the taxes that you've paid, through the support that you've given to the state of Tennessee and to our elected officials that you put in charge to make this the best run state in this country. And if you don't believe me, just look up any other state and see how many buildings they might have going on in education, period. Our state made a commitment. They support our mission statement, which is very succinct. It is student success and workforce development. Every single day, that's what we get up to do. We are going to help people be successful, and in helping our students be successful, we are going to be providing the economic development and the workforce for every community that we're engaged in. We have right now over 175 teaching locations. We go from Memphis to Mountain City, and we are your state's highest, our largest educational system with 180,000 students every year that come through our doors, doing the jobs that make Tennessee great. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this. I also want to just say very clearly, we got the money to begin this in July, and look where we are breaking ground on every one of these projects. By 2026, they will all have ribbon cuttings. Thank you to everybody that's made this possible.
I think I'm next on the agenda. I saw that here, but like Kyle said, it's really difficult to follow Tanner's great comments because I just want to echo them. I'm very impressed by what you said because from a state perspective, that's exactly what we're looking for. You know, from when Governor Lee first put the money in the budget, we were all very excited about it because we recognized in the General Assembly, at least, we recognized how important higher education is for so many of our students. But not every student's higher education needs are the traditional four-year college. Many people want to go straight to work, but they need those skills to really be successful. And so this expenditure on our facilities here meets that goal of what Governor Lee just has done and focused on the trades and how important those are, especially in rural Tennessee. I recently did some remodeling on my house and just talking with the contractor, the need for the workers of the future. You know, housing is a huge issue for us all around. Our manufacturing sites are ready to go, but where will people live? And so TCATs are fulfilling so many of those needs in the manufacturing and the skilled trades. And so from a state perspective, this is one of the better expenditures I think we've ever made from a state perspective. How we do it, Ms. Tidings kind of hinted at it, we're fiscally responsible. And so we resist the urge to make expenditures on things of existing programs, just putting more money into the ways things we always do it. Instead, what we've been doing is, as the state has grown and our revenues have come in, rather than just expanding existing programs, we've resisted that urge, which allowed us to have cash, as she said, non-recurring expenditures for budget people in here. And we use that cash for roads, although it's funded differently, but still, roads, infrastructure, what I call the blocking and tackling of government. You can't expect students to perform at the highest level if they don't have the best facilities. Our educators, the employers, you need up-to-date, modern facilities to be able to meet the needs of these students. And so from a state perspective, we're going to continue to look for ways where we can make those expenditures to improve the lives of every Tennessean. Thank you.
Wow, what a great crowd. Well, I got the best call I got last week when Penn called me and said, hey, we're going to move this inside. Man, the rest of the week was fine because you get a bunch of shovels, you get a fresh dirt, and you get a tent, and you get a ridgeway involved. It's a little bit nerve-wracking to think about that all week, but it is. It's such an honor to be here and for this facility, and Dr. Tidings and the Board of Regents for what they do, their crystal ball being so clear that they see the possibilities and what the future looks like for this area. And the facility speaks for itself. But what I do want to say is I've had a lot of dealings with John Penn, and I've called him lots of adjectives, from mayor to president and now back to president. And with his staff, Miss Jan and Mr. Willie Huffman, it's phenomenal what the future holds for this area. And it's a special place for me because I'm a product of a TCAT dad. He got a degree in machinist and provided the future for my brother and my family. Yes, that is right. And Penn called me just the other day and said, his picture's on the wall. And, that meant something to me. So it's a special place in my heart. And, guys, the future looks great for this area, and this is just the beginning. Thank y'all.
When John Penn asked me to speak up here, I appreciated that. The first thing that I think of when I think of TCAT is opportunity, and that's an interesting concept. I remember when I was just getting started out, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so it took a little while to figure that out. For me, the Army helped me. But for young people, I can see you getting stuck in a day-to-day routine without a lot of hope for the future, getting kind of stuck in that routine. TCAT, when you get motivated and set new goals and look for opportunities, TCAT is there for you. And I think that is something that when you get enrolled, you get involved in TCAT, you improve yourself, you improve your family, you improve your community. And that's what the community needs is a workforce with skills. And so I appreciate very much John Penn and your team's leadership in putting this together. I appreciate the teachers who are going to be providing that day-to-day instruction and providing the knowledge and the job skills and allowing those young folks to be responsible and maybe not even so young. Older folks get involved in TCAT too, so it provides that opportunity. I appreciate the architects and the construction crews that are going to be building this facility in the future. Some of them will be TCAT graduates that are helping out there. And I appreciate the state and all leadership, the foresight, the investment that y'all are making in our community. And I'm very proud to be representing Henry County here in this groundbreaking ceremony. So thank you.
I'm the shortest one here. You know, in a season of Thanksgiving, you just have to think a minute of all you've just heard and say, thank you, TCAT. Thank you for the educational opportunities. Thank you for helping us through the workforce development issues and providing us with the students who want to be here and who want to work. We appreciate you. And as you begin in your new facility, without echoing everything that Mayor Geiger said, just want to say the success of this facility is the success of our communities combined as well. We are thankful. We hope you all, we appreciate all you are doing to improve our community, and we need you here, TCAT. We need you, John Penn, leading the mission, and all of your staff. Great job to all the students. Thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Marshall Duncan. I'm representing Lyle Cook Martin Architects and the design team this morning. As architects, we create buildings and spaces, and to do a really good job at that takes a partnership with a great owner. And so we really want to thank Mr. Huffman, Mr. Ridgway, Dean and Lori, and the entire staff here who've worked with us through numerous meetings to create these spaces and these buildings that we hope that you enjoy and love and meet all your goals and expectations. The design is not possible without Carlton and Valor Askew and their incredible staff. They've gone through numerous meetings with the folks here to create these buildings that you see in these renderings. H&A, mechanical, electrical, plumbing engineers, K&S structural engineering, TTL civil engineering are all critical parts of this and have put in numerous hours to create the drawings and documents for these buildings. We want to thank Dick Tracy and TBR for entrusting us to create this design and create these buildings for you. It's not taken lightly. And so we're excited about the new dynamic and academic spaces that these buildings will contain for the 21st century. It was challenging for us to create spaces that range from cosmetology to welding with everything in between and make them coherent and flow and spaces for students to learn and teachers to instruct, and that will be lasting, like someone mentioned earlier, for 20 years plus. We didn't want something that was short-term fixed. We want something that's a long-term solution for you guys so that the TCAT students 20, 25 years from now and beyond can walk out and talk as highly about their TCAT in the future as the previous student did earlier. So thank you very much for selecting us and for your time this morning.
Good morning, or good afternoon, isn't it? I'm Willie Huffman, 1977 graduate of Henry County High School. I would like to echo everything that's been said thus far. There's not a whole lot to add to it, actually. I think they covered about everything. But I would like to say I was blessed for 36 years to be a part of TCAT. It really changed my life as well as our students' lives. I'll be honest, coming into TCAT, I didn't know a whole lot about technical education. I learned as I went, and boy, I'd see the value, and I promote it every chance I get. My wife always says, "You're passionate about TCAT, aren't you?" And I am, I really am, because I know what it can do for people's lives. I run into students every day where we've affected their life, and they thank me for assisting them in some way to change their lives. I'd also like to put a plug in for the instructors. Dr. White knows better than I do the flexibility, adaptability of instructors. We've asked them to do things in spaces that was nowhere near designed to do what they did, and they have the ability to pull it off. So instructors need to be recognized. If any of you in the room I thank you and praise you for your jobs. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Didn't know I was going to be speaking today, so that was interesting coming in. I want to thank Senator Stevens, Representative Darby, you too, Kyle. I mean, TBR, Doctor. You know, this is amazing for our community. You know, we're often asked to, in our roles, to identify where the vacuum, where the voids are, so we can fill them. That's for startup business. That's to kind of guide our youth in what direction they need to go for financial success. You know, when you need your roof repaired, you're not calling an English major. Right now, you can't find a plumber, you can't find an electrician, you can't find a carpenter. This is the path to future financial success for our kids. Absolutely is. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say it's a heck of a recruitment tool in my line of work as well. The site, interesting story, short story, and I'll let everybody go. This site where the new facility is going to be built was actually pinpointed for a prospect. And John Penn called me one day and said, well, we need to talk. Okay. We went out there. He said, well, let's go meet out there at the site and walk through it. Okay. So we did. Rob, got an idea. What if we were able to build a new TCAT? I said, well, that'd be a great idea. What if I told you we really need to build it here? And I flat told him. I said, a new TCAT is literally the only other thing that I would push the prospect off for. And it was. I think this is a step in the right direction. This is going to support and improve Henry County for decades to come. And that's really the way you approach these things. You have to. The short, you know, instant, positive thing, those are great. I'm not knocking those events and things like that, but long-term projects like this is good for another 50 years and sets us on the right path. And again, the fact it's right down the road from our new industrial park makes it all much sweeter for me too. But I didn't appreciate all your hard work. John Penn, appreciate everybody's hard work on this. It's a great thing for Henry County. I'm looking forward to seeing it built. Thank you.
It's almost 12:30, and that's what time this is supposed to be over with. But I'm John Penn Ridgway. I'm a 1996 graduate of Henry County High School. Might make me the youngest. There's a lot of people to thank, and it's a great day. So here's the site that we didn't get to go to today. The first still photos, I want to thank the first person's Jackson Ridgway. He was a senior in high school 2 years ago. He met Rob and I at the site, and I said, bring your drone. I got a dream. We'll try it. He did another video for me yesterday. He deleted the video because he needed it for football footage on his iCloud and all these people he's working with. So the original video that we sent to Dick Tracy to pitch the site for Henry County wasn't there, but the still photos are. So this is a 21-acre site. And there's a lot of people to thank, and so I'll try to be quick, and there's a lot of friends and family and a lot of people that played part in this, and I appreciate everybody being here. First and foremost, Chancellor Flora Tidings, Dick Tracy, the team at TBR, monumental what y'all are doing. Could not have happened without the team. Dick's a rock star. I'm so glad he's here today, but Chancellor, thank you so much. Second, this wouldn't have happened, as the Chancellor said. 1, 2, 3 projects, 29. I mean, Willy Wonka and the Golden Ticket, that was the TCAT motto. Governor Bill Lee believes in technical education. Proof's in the pudding. I went to groundbreaking in Lexington yesterday. Unbelievable. Rural Tennessee. He's put the value back in rural Tennessee. And so I'm going to take my president's hat off and put my mayor's hat back on. Randy, you got it now, and it's yours, brother. But I want to thank him for investing in Henry County. This project, Tandy, the 5-lane dandy, Senator Stevens, the road to Murray, 2 projects, just 2 projects in the Lee administration. There's a lot more. We're talking about grants and other things. $200 million investment in Henry County. Generational change. Would not have happened if we didn't have a governor that cared about rural Tennesseans, folks that go to work. So Governor Bill Lee, Senator Stevens, Representative Darby, you can dig a hole without a ridgeway, but remember this, as my uncle sits over your lap, we're the last ones to let you down, brother. Just remember that. That's a shameless plug. Representative Martin and Representative Darby, all our folks in West Tennessee for stepping up to the plate and knowing a good thing and voting for it and allocating the funding. Regent Spurgeon, you and Mark Herbison had a lot to do with this. When I called Rob, we're dreamers. At the time, the only industrial property Henry County had, there wasn't 400 acres. We hadn't closed, was that site. And so for me to call him, Rob, thank you. And I'll get to you in a minute. But big, so you guys, thank you for both being from Henry County, remembering your roots and working here when you started, but making a transformational change for all of West Tennessee that we're going to grow from. So I appreciate you. I know Mark couldn't be here today. Dr. Brad White, you have a lot to do with this. 74? Well, that makes you the oldest of the bunch, but we won't hold that against you, and you are the wisest. So Dr. Brad White gave me an opportunity when I was working at McKinsey to be the interim assistant director and gave me facilities and let me go and learn about DB70s and DB71s, and I like that stuff, Dick, because I had an older campus, and I learned from a guy named Ivan Jones that you could put in maintenance requests and kind of make your campus better. And Dr. White and Willie and I would ride to Nashville together, and I knew a little bit about the history of this building and why it was built here. But Dr. White, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for letting me grow, and thank you for being here. Tip Bowden, Dr. Robert Adams, I'm going to get a little choked up, Arthur Dunlap, Jerry Jones, Mitchell Lewis, John Rowlett, and my neighbor, Virgil Wall. They were the Henry County School Board in 1971. They saw the value and vision in wanting a TCAT here. So in 69, Joel Washburn, this was a campus of the McKinsey School at Central School, and these folks invested, it says $350. It was actually $365,000 for right about 40,000 square feet. We're going to hand back, and my county commissioners, Paul Neal in the building, we're going to hand back to the county a building that's worth well over $10 million. And we had a water leak last night, but I'll get to that in a minute. But I want to, it started there. And then it went to a guy named former state rep Willie Neese, whose name is on this campus, the WG Neese campus, and he secured state appropriations for Paris to have a TCAT in this community. Superintendent Leah Watkins, are you here, Leah? She's supposed to be. Well, I'm going to talk about her, because this would not have happened if Leah Watkins had said, when Dick Tracy called, they wanted to buy the building back, if I hadn't said, hold on, Leah, don't just sell that just yet. Maybe they'll build us a new one, and you'll get a 67,000 square foot facility that's you're landlocked on, and we can use for the county's desperate needs. And she believed in kids, she believed in the community education, and she said, I'll go with it. So we had a meeting set up with Dick Tracy. Rob Gold and I were to meet with Dick and pitch this idea. Dr. Goodgiant came. Leah calls us. Rob and I had been to Haywood County High School. Congressman Kustoff had a blue oval thing, and she said, where are y'all at? I'm like, we're in McKinsey. The meeting's tomorrow. I don't write notes. I had 3 pages of notes at home. We showed the site to Dick. He loved it. Dick said, I like it. Maybe this will work. So Dick Tracy, this would not have been possible if you hadn't have come and met with us, and for that, we're eternally grateful. Rob Goad, thank you for being an industrial recruiter that's not worried about making the next sale and moving on to the next community, but understanding the community that you're in, you can build a workforce, and you knew that we needed to build a workforce, and maybe we'd close on 400 acres, and maybe we could lure industry, but right now we have a skills gap. So thank you for putting the community before your own personal interest, because a lot of industrial recruiters are looking to move to the next spot. Rob and I go way back. Tara Wilson, thank you for cheerleading and keeping Rob and I straight. Kim Foster and Terry Wimberly with the Board of Public Utilities. First, Terry, thank you guys for being out here helping with my leak. Community partnerships are strong. Thank you for our friendship. But Kim and Terry, thank you for being on the Paris and Henry County Industrial Board, believing in a dream, and maybe we can make this happen. Former County Mayor Brent Greer and the Ken Norwood family, thank you, Brent, for doing all the hard work to get this site that'll now be a new TCAT. And when you got it and were able to work, you said agriculture, educational, or industrial prospect. And we're going to put a $58 million facility there. And for that, Brent, we're eternally grateful. Steve Clendenin, who I don't think's here. Steve's been keeping the property up for the county for many years. I want to shout out to him. Sheriff Fry and former Sheriff Ballou, thank you for the inmate garden, and thank you guys for your support. Dick Tracy, when we talked about this, he said, you know anybody at THEC? I'd been out. I said I didn't. I looked on THEC's website, and it's Whitney. Did Whitney make it? Whitney, there she is. Hey, Whitney, I'm so glad you're here. Whitney White with THEC. Whitney is a college friend of mine. She's married to my former fraternity brother, ATO Tommy Allman. We got to give a shout out to the ATOs, Senator, since we're not there anymore. No hard feelings. But she had just got put on THEC, and I called her up and I said, Whitney, we've got this unique situation. And she said, okay, well, I'm new on the board. I don't know. I said, well, we've got to get our project in the top 9. This was before, and so Kyle Spurgeon, y'all got to 7 with the building, but y'all been working 7 years. We got on the list at number 8 in the first 6 months. And so it wouldn't have been possible if she didn't believe and work behind the scenes and see the value in this. And Whitney, we're forever grateful for that. And I've got to renew a friendship with her and Tommy, and so grateful that you're here with us today. Dr. Cook, Dr. Walker, and Shannon Mayo with Dyersburg State, thank you for your support. And so, Chancellor, originally this was the Henry County Higher Education Complex, and as things have cut back. So Phase 2, Dick Tracy, Dyersburg State, on our spot, there is a place on our campus for that to happen, and we want that to happen. So eternally grateful for y'all and appreciate you. Henry County Commissioners. There's quite a few of you. Kenneth, David, Paul, Monty, Dale. I might be missing a few. Thank you for believing and voting. We don't get many unanimous votes, but we did on that one. Chuck, Chief, 15. Yeah, we don't get many unanimous votes, as y'all know, in Henry County. So appreciate you guys voting that in favor. Willie Huffman, thank you so much for your years of friendship and for the initial hard work on this. I'll be calling you when we run into more water leaks like we did in the back. You call Dr. White. To Dean Lemons, Hunter Smith, Zach Adams, Jack Bragg, and Alan Ashlock students, thank you for all the hard work. This was something I went to Alan's students with last week and said, can y'all build us something? They did, and so we're grateful for that. The folks at the Chamber, Rachel and Leslie, were very appreciative of you. Treva in the mayor's office, thank you for all your hard work over the years on working on resolutions to make the property. Rob Whitfield, County Attorney, thank you for making the transition so easy. And Pam Martin and Pat Hollingsworth, thank you for everything you did behind the scenes in the transition of the property over. To my wife, Melissa, thank you for believing in a dreamer and not leaving me when I come up with wild ideas. Last thing, this shovel we'll use today. Well, this shovel was used in 1997, and it hung in my garage for 20 years. Dr. White remembers it. I said I wouldn't do it, so the person I want to thank the most is my dad, because I'd hung in his garage. He believed in people. He believed in this school. We lost him in March, but on his deathbed, Tandy will know this, he saw a lot of projects go by the wayside. Jake, thanks for being here. Mayor Bynum, appreciate you being here. He saw a lot of projects go by the wayside. You'd have money for this, it'd go away. On his deathbed, he said, is it going to happen? Still, had a massive stroke. I saw that for 20 years going in and out of his house. It hung on a nail. It was gold. There's a picture of it that we found yesterday, but it was made by a student named Jamie Kemp. Jamie Kemp, the story comes full circle. Jamie Kemp he is the facilities coordinator for the county school system. When we leave, Jamie Kemp will be over this building. Things work weird in small communities like that. I love the TCATs. I'm blessed to be back here. It's a fantastic staff and faculty, second to none. Our motto is we build careers. But Chancellor, I'm going to tell you what we really do. We change lives every day. And I'm looking out here. Yesterday I saw a former student. I see so many friends and family. So maybe it needs to be we build careers, which in fact we change lives. Our guys are also going to be working on site. And our residential building maintenance students, we're going to pour a concrete pad and we're going to build a shop on the back of it. And I have asked Tanner Ashlock's dad to close us out, Alan Ashlock, our residential building maintenance instructor, with a word of prayer and blessing of our site. Because our folks and the folks that go to work with Bell Construction every day need our prayers, because this is a blessing for this community and this region. And I just want to say a special thank you to everybody that's in this room today. I appreciate you. You mean a whole lot. And this project is a community's effort. And it's a state's effort. And there's so many things that are going good in our state. And so thank you for being here. Once we close, we're going to take a few of our dignitaries out to the site to shovel some dirt. But I just want to thank you for being here. And for our guest, please get a cookie. For our folks, if you have not signed our beam in the back, please sign the beam. And for our folks that spoke, I'd like for you to sign our hard hat. And then we also have, our guests to get a ceremonial shovel. So it's a silver shovel. This one was gold. We painted it silver, but it's got the groundbreaking day. And we just want to thank you for being here. And so, Alan, I'll ask you to come forward. But if you do want to donate materials, I've got some builders in here that would like to see our students build this. I'm always looking, and I see some of you in the room, and I'll come calling on you later. So, Alan, please close us out.
Hello, I'm Alan Ashlock. I teach residential building maintenance. I graduated in 1990, so a little bit after you, Dr. White. But it's an honor to be able to bless this site. So if you would pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we lift up your holy name, and we thank you for all your blessings, your goodness, your mercy, and your grace. We ask for your hands to be on the building of this new site, for your hands to be on the crew building, that you keep them safe and you give them the skill and the knowledge that is needed to do such a great work. Father, we ask that you bless future students that will be coming, that, Father, that they can grow on this site, learn a skill, a trade that will boost their economy, that will boost their lives, that will bless them and their families. We ask all of this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you. Thank y'all. We are dismissed.